Hey everybody, welcome to Jon D Podcast. I'm your host, Jon D Miller. Welcome to episode number 74, everybody. Number 74, numero 74. In the old Espanol language, that's right. 1,653 days, no booze. That's right, no booze, no booze. Some of you, longtime listeners, might go, oh, well, you didn't say going on something. No, I'm actually recording this during the day, so not doing one of my middle of the night recordings, but so just 1,653 days, over 4.5 years now with no booze at all. How are yous? How are yous? How are y'alls? Yeah, I didn't even realize I'd passed 4.5 years. I do the dry erase board. I put my number on it, how many days I've been without drinking. And it's something I recommend to people who might quit and are just, every day's a victory. Every day's a lap. And so I hadn't checked it in a while, actually. I used to do it every day. Like every day I woke up, I went and I did it. And, things happen and it's just, things change. I was talking to a client of mine the other day and she hasn't drank in 16 years. And she was saying, it's just weird. You don't think about it the same anymore. And that's true. That's very true. I still check it. I still do. But it had been like a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks since I'd really checked it. Like, look, I check, but I don't really. And it was exactly 4.5 years, 11 days ago. I didn't even realize it. So yeah, if you're out there, keep fighting the good fight. You know what you're doing. But actually, it was weird also because the day that I realized it had been 4.5 years without any alcohol in my system, that a report popped up. And this is weird, right? We all know this. I'm just going to start talking about $1 million. I just want $1 million, please, because my lovely wife Liz and I will be sitting there. We'll be talking about something, and all of a sudden, pops up on your phone. Yeah, isn't that weird? $1 million, tax free, right? Wouldn't that be? I'm just saying. Come on, Facebook or whatever the hell, iPhone. What had popped up though was an article about how alcohol sales are down significantly in 2024. But even more so in the first half of 2025, which I think is pretty interesting. So even craft breweries, which are supposed to be hot and heavy or whatever, but yeah, down significantly. What was the numbers I had on here? Was it the Beer Institute report? Total beer shipments were down 5.9% year to date through May 2025, a loss of almost 3.7 million barrels of booze. Huh? That means something, doesn't it? Constellation Brands report, that's Modelo and Corona, 1.7% slump. What was something I saw? I could be wrong about this, but it was something where they were expecting one of the lowest sales for 4th of July in alcohol sales, beer and wine. I believe they were saying it was going to be the lowest in like 20 years or maybe even 30 for a 4th of July season. Because during the pandemic, when COVID happened, it was a huge spike. I think liquor sales in the state of Virginia where I live went up 300% because people were doing, that's why I had such a problem. I was already drinking, heavy drinker. But then, my last job was like, hey, don't come to work for a while. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So what else was I going to do? Wake up, have a beer with breakfast, what the hell ever, screw it. So anyways, and huge spike. And then afterwards, people were like, fuck, I went a little overboard. That's what I realized kind of before COVID was over, 2021. But yeah, people were like, all right, we got to take it easy. Plus you have all the other stuff. They got these hemp drinks, THCA. I'm not putting that stuff down. I'm just saying, but that's something as well. People realizing like I can get me a little buzz and don't gotta have to worry about being sloppy. Yeah. So I just found that was interesting. One, because it had literally, I'd been talking. I was like, hey, 4.5 years. And then it was like, hey, alcohol sales are down. I'm like, fuck. Okay. This is odd. But really it is. It's moderation. I think people are doing that. I think it's economic pressure. Like my wife and I astound ourselves at how much money we save from not being drinkers. And by the way, my lovely wife Liz has quit as well. She's, oh God, it was like 300 days or something like that for her. So good job, honey. But economic pressure, people, you save money. And then, like I said, other beverages, I think it's also, part of what it is you have, there's so much out there now. Like there's where I live, near Richmond, Virginia. There's a ton of breweries, all these places downtown. And people say it's because the water is very good for making beer with. I don't know. I drank Richmond City water as a kid. Okay, sure. But that's what they say. So, but there's competition, I think, as well. Not to mention, it's just like everything else with like streaming. There's so many choices. I go to look, I still like NA beer. By the way, Sam Adams, I love your Just the Haze if you want to hook me up with some of that. Or Sierra Nevada, their Trail Pass non-alcoholic. It's great stuff, man. Turns out I really actually just like beer. But and then they have like Bold Rock has a non-alcohol. I'm not getting paid to say this stuff. I'm just saying, but I went to the beer aisle to find these things. And it's hard to find this stuff because there's so many freaking choices. Just so many freaking choices of just regular alcohol stuff. It's overwhelming, to say the least. We were at Walmart like a week ago, and there was I saw Old Milwaukee non-alcohol beer. Holy shit. I almost fainted right there in the middle of the Walmart there, which, at every Walmart, they get about 2 of those a week. So they'd have been prepared for it. But I'm just saying, like, I couldn't believe what I saw. Old Milwaukee non-alcohol beer. That's just crazy. But here's the thing, and that's what's going on now, though, is that non-alcohol beer has gone up. The sales have gone up 22.2%, which I know doesn't mean anything. But remember, before we were talking that low percentage, and that was 3.7 million barrels. So what do you think 22.2% is? But my problem with that is that you're selling non-alcohol stuff, but you're still selling it for just as much, if not more, than what the regular stuff is. And people go, well, we have to take the alcohol out. There's more, there's more labor involved. And I get labor is money. Time and energy is money. I get that. The real reason people drink stuff like that is, come on. It's about the buzz, man. You take the buzz away, you should cost less. That's what I'm saying. Come on now. All right. Let's talk about some stuff that's happened since the last one. I know I haven't been here since May. I've had a lot going on. It's also been a little bit of writer's block, a little bit of trying to, find inspiration in things. And thank you to all my people who continue to show up. I was thinking the other day about if my listening audience was a town, would it be large enough to have a stoplight? You know what I mean? Because nobody likes four-way stops, right? Because they're all, what is it, the rule? You got to yield to the person on the right. Well, have you ever pulled up to a four-way stop and you all got there at the same freaking time? No, you go. No, you go. No, you. I don't even remember what the rule is for that. I just know they're supposed to yield to the people on your right part. And then there's always that one person you pull up, you're like, okay, you're supposed to go. Like, what the fuck you're doing, right? And the people sit there and they just keep flashing their lights at you. Like, no, you, no. And you're like, no, you waving. And they're like, no, you go. No. Like, come on. Don't you know the fucking rules? Don't these other people? Like, I'm trying to follow them and they're telling me, no, you go ahead. Throwing me a fucking curveball. I don't need that. Wow. Look at me. Listen to me with the F-bombs. I guess I had to get them out at some point. All right. Anyways, let's talk about some things since the last time I was here. Now, I know I'm very late to the party on this, okay? I'm not going to pretend like this is new, but I just want to comment on the CEOs getting busted at the Coldplay concert because that is... It was so much wrapped into one thing is why I want to talk about it. Like, first off, how enamored people got with it. All kinds of things. And the Phillies mascots, they have a male and a female one, and they did it. They reenacted it at a game. They were doing a kiss cam. And then there was a bunch of other things I saw that were making fun of it, where they had, like, it was like Dwight and Pam from The Office. So, like, Dwight was behind holding Pam. You know how the pose those people were in. I think my two favorite might have been, it was the autopilot in Airplane, the movie. And it's that scene where he was holding the stewardess around her, like he was holding her boobs. I think that I like that one. And then there was another one that was James Hetfield, and he was standing behind Dave Mustaine, who was the original guitar player for Metallica, but they kicked him out. He went on to form Megadeth, and they had that one. I thought that was pretty good. That was a pretty good one. And there was a bunch more. But it just the way everybody got so enamored with it and how it went so viral, it was just huge. Like, God. But here's the thing that also got me about it was because the woman who posted it said she wouldn't have done it. And the only reason I had her name and I was going to talk about it, but it doesn't matter. Point being, she said that the reason she posted it was because of their reaction of the people struck her as being so weird because, they're at this concert. There's 80,000 people there. And they're going around doing the kiss cam. And so she was filming the kiss cam with her phone. And then these people, they're like, oh my God. And like everybody ducked away. And the people around them were like, yeah. And the woman's like, that's really weird. And in this modern era, you go out in public, you never know what's going to happen. I knew a dude one time that got busted. Was he engaged to a woman? The woman I knew them both, but they were acquaintances. And dude, I think they were engaged or something like heavy duty. He was out doing some stuff. I think it was like New Year's or something. He was supposed to be out, just chilling with some people. And he was out somewhere. And one of her friends saw him and took pictures and sent it to the woman. And that was the end of that. So here's the thing. If you're a CEO of a major corporation, now I'd never heard of this company, but apparently a lot of people knew, and then whatever. And it was because it was a big deal. We all heard about that side of it. But also, if you're a CEO and you're at a concert with 80,000 people and there's a kiss cam going around, sit the fuck down. Like, sit down. Go to the back and get some food. You're obviously in a suite or a box. You probably got some snackies back there. Go grab a buffalo wing and don't get busted. Go have some spinach dip. Take a break for a second. No, you're not. What do they call it, by the way? What they were doing? Canoodling? Ugh, I hate that freaking word. That word sucks. Canoodling. Ugh. All right. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I know, it's stupid. People are like, man, it's old, man. It's old by now. And I know. But just the firestorm of how it happened, how people reacted to it. It is completely indicative and exemplary, and I don't mean that in a good way, of how people are nowadays. And just, they will take shit and run with it. You gotta be careful what the hell you do, man. I gotta be careful what I say on this thing. The other thing I want to talk about, and this is more recent, and this is the Sydney Sweeney ads. Now, first off, I'm just gonna say my opinion. It's not bad. It's not derogatory. Is she an attractive woman? Yes. And I'm not here to judge her on that. I think what it is she is an attractive woman. She does do movies where she has no problem getting mostly, if not all the way naked. She talks about it. She literally had, at one point, people were talking about her and, she's only known for her physical assets and she had a t-shirt and put something on Instagram and the t-shirt said, I have great tits, or something like that. Like, hey, join the club, lady. No, I'm in terrible shape. Anyways, my point is that she is what she is. I mean, and she does ads and yeah, whatever. But I don't understand the thing with she has good genes and then people got upset about that. Like, well, she's white. It's a fucking denim commercial. And then Gap comes out with our own denim commercial. What has a bunch of women of different ethnicities, which is cool, fine. They're dancing around. Like, I don't understand. Like, we have dueling denim ads now. What the hell? Is that something? Literally political statements coming out about fucking denim skirts and nobody wears denim shirts anymore. I don't know who. If somebody shows up to a party wearing a denim shirt, what do you think of that person? You know what you think of that person. We all do. Really? Laundry day coincided with party day. Okay. Whatever. I see somebody show up to a party wearing a denim shirt. I'm like, did he come from painting his house? Nobody. We're denim. Maybe if you're rich. You do. Just do the 3 buttons at the top and let it hang down. I don't get it. This is the whole stupid thing that keeps going around. It's also good with the Cracker Barrel logo stuff. I mean, the logo is stupid. The new logo they had was dumb. I give it up to that to anybody, I'll totally admit that. That logo is freaking stupid. It was just that yellow, I don't know what shape that is. I don't know. But anyways, I don't even know how to describe it. That yellow thing and then just Cracker Barrel just on the thing. They took away the guy and the people losing their minds. And then they want to blame us on DEI and going woke and shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Well, you're taking away our culture. Yeah, these are the same people who got upset. They put vegetarian, plant-based sausage on the menu. They didn't switch and go, this is the only thing we have now. No, they said, these are available should you choose to have them. People lost their minds. They're like, oh, no, fuck that. Fuck Cracker Barrel. I ain't never going that place again. Why? It's this intolerance of any change. Hey, we fear change. Is this Wayne? Are you Wayne's World? Is this okay, Garth? Nobody's going woke. I do think what they're doing with Cracker Barrel is stupid. What is Cracker Barrel anyways? You go in to that front, look at that wooden uneven floor, which is great when you have a bunch of old people walking through your place. Very narrow aisles with crammed in there with shit. They got Christmas stuff year round. They got candy from the 40s and 50s. Oh, a bit of honey. Yes. Let me chew on that for an hour. Gnawing that thing. You would. I remember going out with going on long car trips with my parents and stuff when I was younger. You want a bit of honey? And that would shut me up for a while. We didn't have phones and whatever. I remember the first time I saw a kid riding in a car. I was younger, and they had I wasn't that young, but anyways, I remember seeing a kid one time when I was younger. I was, in my 20s probably, but I saw a kid riding in a car, and there was a DVD player. I was late 20s probably. It was like a portable DVD player in the car, and the kid's just sitting there watching. I was at the light. I was like, holy shit, would I have loved that when I was a kid? Oh, a 5-hour ride to the grandparents? Sure. Sure, no problem. I'll just watch, 2.5 of the 3 of the Star Wars originals. I would have done that. Or something else. I don't know. I'm just saying, but Cracker Barrel, you go in there, and then they'll get the food, and then they got the shit over the walls, which is fun to look at in a sense, because it's just, you go look back in history, and, they have all these oil cans. You're like, I never heard of that company. And then they have the old sodas. They have all kinds of shit. Yeah, okay. I get it. It's got and then the fireplace with the family pictures. I always wonder, who are those people? Are these people supposed to be significant to the region that the Cracker Barrel's in? Or do they just find random? Are these all the same family? Or are they just people from different families that they found places and just put up and like, well, they look like they could be related. And I want to see a DNA something. And people were going, well, don't turn into First Watch. And First Watch is over there going, what the hell did we do? Come on. We didn't do anything wrong. Man, it's gotten so dumb. Can we just chill the fuck out? All right, moving on. Let's talk about last episode. Want to say congratulations to Darren A. from, he sent his email, OPP all the time, which I don't have the minute mark. What? Who does these show notes? You do. Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, I should get better at it. Anyways, OPP all the time was the episode title. He sent me an email with the minute mark in it, whatever it might have been. For that, he got a $10 Amazon gift card. And you can do that too. Take the title from this episode, put it in an email, jondpodcom@gmail.com, and tell me the minute mark and where I say it. It's always something from the episode that I say. And then I will send you a $10 Amazon gift card. You know what? I realized I have people from the UK that listen, but they never say anything. And then I found out if I want to do an Amazon gift card for somebody in the UK, I would have to get an Amazon UK account. But I'll do that if I have to. Okay. If it does happen, I'll do it, but it has not. I've only had US people. By the way, Darren, yes, thank you for writing in. I hope you enjoy the $10. It's not much. Maybe it'll pay part of a tariff fee so you can get something a little cheaper. But he said the minute mark and everything else. And he said, and what's up from OKC, which I assuming you're meaning Oklahoma City, not Old Kangaroo Circus or so. I don't know. That's all I could think of. All right, shut up. I should put that through ChatGPT. It probably would have come up with like 20 different things. They all would have been relatively cheesy, but they probably would have been better than that. Old Kangaroo Circus. If you're the first person to do that, too, by the way, I'm not doing this for 30 people or however many people might, chance to write in, which has never been close to that many, which I'm not surprised is not more, but I understand. You're like, well, it's probably already gone by now, but you never know because there's been a couple weeks or longer when people, before I get anything, where people going, hey, it's such and such, whatever. So you never know. Okay. And plus, it's always cool. And I don't put your email on some mailing list or any shit like that. Okay. And you can just write in and say hello too. But anyways, if you're the first person to do that, you'll get the Amazon gift card. But sometimes I do pay out a little more. I've done that a couple of times with some people where I send another one. For instance, longtime listener Wade, hey man, great to hear from you. Again, he did confirm he got his Amazon gift card. The episode he wrote in on, which was episode 72, I'd already given away the gift card, but because he's written in a few times and been a long time listener, I said, you know what, you get $10 too. And so there you go. So, hey, you know what? It's not going to be that many people. I'm not that worried about it. You know, I'm not a radio station. If you're the 97th caller with the phrase that pays. And again, Wade, good to hear from you. I know, 41 days until hockey. Well, when you wrote the email, which is a few days ago. So we're a little less than that by now. But I'm not quite ready to talk NHL yet. You know, is this going to be Ovi's final season? I don't know. You know, because the guy's going to go probably back to Russia and play for like 10 more years. He's going to be playing with like 58 to be out there. He's still going to be better than half the people in the league. It's like this old dude I used to play hockey with years ago. The old Fairfax Hockey League Beard League. There was this older dude. He couldn't skate very well. And he was older, and he couldn't move as much. But he still played with some of us young people at the time. I was younger. And he would get in this one spot, man. He just, if the other team, I never played on his team, I don't think. But if somebody got the puck over to him, he could fire one off. Just a quick little wrister. Bing, done. So Ovi will be out there doing that same type of shit for forever. I mean, that shot's not going away anytime soon. I'm interested to see how his kid plays, which his son's a left-handed shot. But I'm interested to see what that kid does. I'm just saying, learning from the master. But, you know, summertime has been boring. And I'm glad hockey's coming back. I mean, I always hated it when I was younger and I had school or something like that. I didn't like it. I didn't like school. But I love the fact that hockey and football were coming back. And so this time of year definitely gets me in a better mood as far as that goes. Because let's face it, summertime sports suck. I love baseball, but I don't like watching it on television. I don't. It's just not as fun to me. So, yes, but I'm glad hockey's coming back, Wade, and we will talk about it. I don't know. By the time, with my cadence of episodes, by the time hockey starts, I'll be ready to put out a new one. It'll be my NHL preview episode, at least for part of the episode, right? But I do want to talk NFL because it is right around the corner. And, boy, I'm not going to get too huge into it. I'm not doing some preview episode or segment. I do want to say this right now. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 6 years old. The silver helmet with the blue star. You know, I didn't like Redskins. I didn't like their colors. Nah, wasn't digging it. And people are like, well, what do you care about the colors? You got to root for the team. No, fuck that. I don't have to. Okay? I don't have to do any of that shit. Thank you very much. But then I got into hockey later on, like 12 or 13, and I did go for the local team. It was the Caps. Never had the best looking jerseys in the whole wide world, but they could change that, but they refused to. At least the ones they have now are better than the ones they had in the 90s. Those things were kind of, yeah. That's how it worked out. I want to say this about, after yesterday's, as I'm recording this, developments. Jerry Jones is a fucking moron. And, you know, maybe in the back end of everything with this Parsons trade, which he did to the Packers, 2 first-round picks and a defensive tackle. This is not every day that as a sports fan of whatever particular team you like, whatever NFL team you like, whatever sport it is, whatever your favorite team is, that you literally lose one of the biggest, most influential stars in how your season could possibly go right before the season starts. Like, it's just like, okay, well, fuck this. Never mind. Like, am I still going to watch games? Yeah. Am I going to sit there and shake my head and go, screw you, Mr. Jones? I don't even know what to make of it. But other than the fact that I feel like completely mishandling a player such as him is terrible. Now, I did hear that the Cowboys did make an offer to him of $202 million, and he signed an extension in Green Bay as soon as he was traded for $188 million. So, obviously, yeah, money, big difference. It's a freaking shame. And maybe Jerry Jones is going to pull some shit off. I don't know. But this is bad. Like it really is. Like, it's so stupid. It's so completely stupid it got to this point. Washington's going to be a good team this year. The Giants are going to be a lot better. Eagles are pretty much the same. Chiefs, the Kingdom. I was trying to watch some of that documentary. Everybody in that fucking documentary is so conceited. I don't know. I found them to be sort of, I couldn't watch it. Maybe it was just the segment I was watching. Maybe that was what it was. I didn't give it a fair shot. Okay, don't come back at me with, you didn't fucking, with the, shut up. I get it. But, man, that just seemed that people were just so conceited. Well, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to win all the time. I'm not quoting anybody. I'm sort of paraphrasing. Which, by the way, I think my son had the absolute best joke about the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift engagement. Yeah, we people. I think you could collectively hear all the Taylor Swift fans scream all at once. It was registered somewhere on a something meter. Apparently it happened 2 weeks before they announced it. Fuck it, who cares? My son had the best joke about it. Because we told him what happened. We're like, hey, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. And my son was like, oh, so dude's name's going to be Travis Swift now. He gets it. I was saying he'll do the hyphenated thing. So he'll be Travis Kelce Swift. I think that's what it'll be. He can do the hyphen thing. It'll be fine. It's the modern era. Something to think about. I don't think that'll happen there. I wish him all the best. I really do. As I say it, though. And what did she say? She made a statement. It's like the English teacher and the gym coach are getting married. And it's true, though. Like, what's that one song she has? I've talked about it before. She talks about sitting on the bleachers and whatever. And then, but she wants the dude that's like the football player. She's like the music nerdy chick. So, hey, whatever. Good for them. They say opposites attract. So, there we go. Okie dokie. I guess that's about it for now. Yeah, episode 74, man. 74 is kind of a thing. It was one of my hockey numbers. It's the year I was born. I wanted to do something special, but it just didn't materialize. And then I also want to talk about this. I haven't talked about any stand-up today, and I want you to check out a guy named Ritch Shydner. And I've known of this guy for, 90s. I remember being a kid, actually, and going to visit my dad on the weekends in the D.C. area. And I remember reading in the paper sometimes. It was like the ads in the paper for the comedy clubs, and they would say who was working. And I remember seeing Ritch Shydner's name. I don't remember which club it was, but I remember seeing his name. And then I remember seeing his HBO One Night Stand in the 90s. I was in like high school, like a junior, I think, somewhere in that time frame. I remember seeing that. Just other stuff he's done over the years. But he has these things he does on Facebook. You got to check him out. And then also he does a one-man show about it, like a 90-minute one-man show. And it's the history of stand-up. It's so cool. Some of the stories he tells, old stuff from like the 20s and 30s, like all the way up to more modern eras. And so if you want to get a really cool, in-depth look at some stand-up comedy, I would recommend that because it's pretty neat. I like it. So that's just something cool to check out. Ritch Shydner. You can also Google his name. I'll try to find a link of some kind to put in the show notes, at least a Facebook or something for him. But you should look him up. He had one I saw the other day. It was about this guy who did a show for Al Capone, and I don't want to give away the story, but he's from New York and he does some stuff at this club in Al Capone's in Chicago that Al Capone built because apparently he loved comedy. And he does some stuff during the show. I'll tell you what, so you can check it out. Basically ends up booking it back to the train station to go back to New York before he ends up unalived, as the kids say these days. All right, before we get going, let's make sure we cover our charities, all right? No Kid Hungry. Many school-age children are in situations where the best meal of the day for them comes from school, okay? No Kid Hungry helps children with meals when they are in need, being away from school, such as weekends and holidays, all right? No Kid Hungry. Wounded Warrior Project. The brave men and women who have served our country deserve the best care we can give them after they return home. Some of them have wounds that are external and or internal that they might need help with, or even just accessible housing, okay? Wounded Warrior Project. BestFriends.org is making a difference by helping homeless dogs and cats in shelters be adopted faster and in more numbers. Their goal is to have the entire country no-kill shelters. BestFriends.org. All right. Check out any of those charities. Support ones in your local area that might be similar, or any of them in general. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Jon D Podcast, Jon D Podcom on Instagram. And I know I don't do a lot of the social media lately. Okay. I just don't. I haven't. But if you want to check it out, it's fine. Don't forget you can write the show here, jondpodcom@gmail.com as well. Oh, and don't forget, if you, after all that charity stuff, if you got time for a little chair of me, you can help support the podcast through our official listener support app, Venmo, at Jon D Podcom on Venmo. Go there, look. You'll get to see. Now, I'd like to leave this up. Somebody sent me a few bucks a little while back, and they said, I love the picture. And I'm like, that's the thing. You get to see the picture. It's from me on stage at the Hollywood Improv in like 99 or 2000. Not saying it was a great night of comedy, but it's a cool picture. And the shirt is probably makes it, because I can't believe I wore that thing, especially on such a big night. But I was trying to make a splash, I guess is what it was, or be noticed. Executive producers for Jon D Podcast are Tom Haig. That's his voicemail when you call him. And, of course, Liz Miller. Thanks to each of them for helping make this happen in their own ways. This has been episode 74 of Jon D Podcast. I've been your host, Jon D Miller. All right? Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Let's be sane. Let's be civil. And until next time, later for you.